Welcome once again to our morning devotions, experiencing God through the seasons of life. Our devotion this morning is titled The Power of One, and we're going to take our reading from the book of Acts, chapter 9, from verse 36 to verse 41. I will read in your hearing. Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation is called Dorcas. This woman was full of good works and alms deeds which she did. And it came to pass in those days that she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they laid in an upper chamber. And forasmuch as Lydia was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them. Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him and weeping, and showing the coats and garments which Dorcas made, which she was with them. But Peter put all forth and kneeled down and prayed, and turning him to the body said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up, and he gave her his hand and lifted her up, and when he had called the saints and widows, presented her alive. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. Dorcas is one woman who is being described here as a disciple. She is named alongside Peter, who was also a disciple of Jesus. But when we meet Dorcas, she is being introduced by the work that she did, a great philanthropist, a woman who worked alone to bring a change in the community of her day. She was making jerseys for widows. She was making things for widows and orphans, I think. And when she fell sick and died, all these people came to mourn for her, and they refused to bury her. And they called for Peter to say, this one we are not burying, because of what she had done, of the great change that she had brought in that community. And look at the people who were grieving for Dorcas. These were widows and orphans and the less privileged of her day. I admire Dorcas so much because she's one woman, a single woman, single-handedly, she made a difference in her community. We live in these present communities where even big societies are named after one woman who made a change. We have Dorcas societies, people who come together to do the same one thing that Dorcas was doing, but Dorcas did it alone. I want to encourage someone today that you can make the difference. You can also make a difference in your community alone. You don't have to be many to make a difference, because Dorcas was just one woman who made a difference. Dorcas, we are told, people refuse to bury her. If you were to die today, would people refuse to bury you? What would you be remembered for? What have you done for your community? Even if you are a widow, even if you're a single person, even if you're married, you don't have to wait for a community to start making a difference. You can make that difference single-handedly, just like Dorcas did in her community. What is it that your community is benefiting from your presence? For God did not just create you to decorate the world, but that you make a difference in the community of your day. There are people who are suffering, who are looking out, who do not have anyone to look out for them. Have you knocked on doors? Have you even tried to say good morning to your neighbors? What do you do to make a difference? She did what she could. She was sewing jerseys. And when Peter came, they were lifting the jerseys that she had made. What have you given to your community? I know of a statement which says, when you give, you create a vacuum to receive. And have you created that vacuum for the Lord to give you? Have you given what you can to your community? May the Lord bless you and help you, just like Dorcas did, to work out and to know that you can make a difference. Even if you don't have much, little is much when God is in it. And you can use that little to make a difference in your community. May the Lord bless you as you work to make a difference in your community.